Series in motor racing today, competing for the Renault 5 Elf Turbo UK Cup to establish the Renault 5 Racer of 1989. A fierce series culminating here at round 12, the final round of the series in Languedoc-Roussillon, where the British racers are welcomed with a pre-event banquet by Renault UK. In the morning, though, it'll be back to business for the Renault racers. It's been lots of action for the spectators and a good sporting season for the drivers too.
I think it's one of the best championships there is.
I love every minute of it. Well, when I'm going well, that is.
A lot of camaraderie, a lot of things to do. Trips to exotic places. We're on a table mountain here.
A lovely friendly bunch. Probably takes me back to the early days of racing when everybody was friendly then, and it's just like that. It's tremendous to have such a good spirit between the drivers and mechanics and everything.
Has the championship been as much fun this year as it was last, doing it sort of the second time around?
It's been harder work. The pressure was really on from the word go to try and retain it. Nobody had ever done it before. So there was certainly a lot of pressure there.
And the pressure for last year's champion Nicky Phillips started right here, round 1 in March at the Thruxton racing circuit in Hampshire, England. The defending champ on row 1 with Kevin Glynn and Bill McGovern alongside him. Behind on row 2, Dave Cox and Steve Jones. All mighty close though after practice. So, close racing guaranteed, all eyes on the starting light, and away they go. A pack of near identical Renault 5 GT turbos, all built originally at the Dieppe factory. Little cars with 1,397cc turbocharged by a Garrett turbocharger engines, all front-wheel drive, all normally 5 seats with 3 doors. But obviously for this racing series, some of the unnecessary trim has been dumped, and of course they have the wise rollover cages and obligatory by the sporting rules on-off switches to make sure that the current can be turned off by a marshal if something goes wrong. At the moment though, nothing's going wrong for the defending champion in number 1, Nicky Phillips, being pursued by Bill McGovern, many times in the bad old days a British saloon car champion. So the defending champion with McGovern right behind him in number 22. Phillips in 1, McGovern in 22. The 1-2 as the Renault pack stream round the Thruxton circuit. These little cars with 115 brake horsepower, all virtually identical mechanically. So it really is down to 2 key factors: the driver's skill and, of course, the team behind the scenes, the mechanics who set the car up so perfectly. And what a good job they've done with Phillips' car. That's Edwards. Edwards father and son racing in this. Edwards Jr. and Edwards Sr. Phillips still leads in 1. Having a bit of a clash here. Number 4's Ian Head from Ipswich. And Lawrence Plummer from Brighton goes safely through. 1 Phillips. Fast and neat. And in clear air with no traffic to worry about. 20 is Edwards Jr. And in number 7, Dave Cox. Edwards Jr. and Dave Cox scrapping there for 3rd place. Absolutely neck and neck they are too. So Phillips, McGovern. The big scrap though is for 3rd place. Edwards Jr. going round the outside, or trying to, and succeeding. Yes, he's got 3rd place there. Cox in 4th place. It's close. Bit of wheel lifting there by Edwards Jr. Lost a bit of time. Cox makes it up. Magnetic stuff for 3rd place. Renault 5 racing at its best. These cars on the fastest part of Thruxton here, doing 125 miles an hour, getting to 60 in between 6 and 7 seconds, depending on who's driving and if there's a following wind. Phillips getting away. Behind him though, getting close for 2nd place now with the 3 cars fighting for that position. McGovern in 22. Edwards Jr. trying to go around the outside, but failing. Still, he has third place, and he's in front of number 7, Dave Cox. So, McGovern from Pinner. Edwards Jr. mighty close with Cox. Cox now up there to third place. Dave Cox from Gravesend. He's taken third. Jim Edwards Jr. from Maidenhead. Meanwhile, lots of alternative ways of getting round Thruxton. Rather slow there for the tail enders, losing some time there. 1, Phillips, losing no time at all. Beautiful driving by the champion, Nicky Phillips. Originally from Northern Ireland, lives in England these days. And a racing driver to watch. Fast and neat. Phillips wins. Round 1. Meanwhile, it's all happening there. Cox gets it well sideways and loses that third place to Edwards Jr. So it's Phillips first from McGovern, Edwards Jr. third, and losing a lot of time there in that sideways manoeuvre, Dave Cox from Gravesend. Phillips wins from McGovern, Edwards Jr. third, Gavin Green fourth, David Grimshaw fifth, and Kevin Glynn sixth. What a round 1. And what a lot of prize money to be won too. Prize money dished out from 1st to 20th place. Also the winner gets the Michelin Checkered Flag Award and the Champion Winners Award. There's also the Cat Lap Leader Award.
People have been winding me out of it, a bit of pressure on me. You know, you can't do it again, Phillips. You know, nobody's ever done it twice. So it's been, but it was good. It was good to win by that bit of a margin. It's given me a bit of confidence to do it again.
But when the racers arrive at Donington for round 2, David Grimshaw is quicker than Phillips in practice.
Well, I think we've got 2 very good cars. They're both prepared by Gerard Motorsport, who are the people that have got the better cars this year, and they're 2 identical cars. So we hope it's the same in the race.
Third quickest, Dave Cox in Renault number 7. So the front row, Grimshaw, Phillips and Cox. Behind them though in row 2, the veteran Bill McGovern again, with James Kay alongside him. And look at those times, just 7/10 of a second, separating the first 5 cars. So it looks like it's going to be mighty close. All eyes on the lights, and away they go. The traffic light Grand Prix of Renault 5 GT Turbos, let loose round Tom Wheatcroft's famous Donington Park circuit here in the East Midlands. Already, of course, the British Motorcycle Grand Prix takes place here, and the British round of the World Sports Car Championship too. Phillips in number 1, remember, defending his round 1 win and his championship win last year, 3-wheeling round there, with the rest of the field streaming round in the Champs wheel tracks. Couldn't be closer though, could it? Many of these cars looking as if they're almost tied together. Up the rise into Coppice Corner. Phillips leads from Grimshaw, Cox, Edwards Jr. and the rest following in his 15-lap battle round Donington. Down the straight under the Dunlop Bridge. Very fast here as they sweep down to the Goddard. That's a right and left, very tight, almost a chicane. Phillips fastest down the straight and into Goddard. Phillips, teammate Grimshaw. Then the rest. And onto the grass goes Edwards Jr. A little grass cutting. Loses some places too. Phillips slowing dramatically on the left there. Grimshaw now has the lead. Grimshaw leads. Something's wrong with Phillips' engine as Grimshaw in number 2 takes over the race lead here at Donington. Dust flying. Sweeping around the back of the circuit. Dave Cox is second. It's between Grimshaw and Cox. Starkey's Bridge, that is. One of the famous features of Donington when it was a pre-war racing venue. Remember once the Auto Union and Mercedes Grand Prix cars fought it out with the locally produced ERAs here. Fighting it out now though, the Renault 5 GT Turbos. Close stuff. There's Nicholas Phillips in serious trouble, losing places all the time. Phillips slowing, not his day here at Donington. Meanwhile, at the front, it's between 2 and 7. David Grimshaw from Dave Cox. And while they fight it out, watch 69. 69. James Kay's getting nearer and nearer to this battling duet at the front as they go round Redgate Corner, and no time to stop for a pint at the Redgate pub. A shame for them. No spectators can take their eyes off this one either. 7 has it still. Cox in 7 still leads. Look at Kay go on the inside there of 2. Kay goes on the inside and goes onto the grass, but still holds it. Kay takes second place and gets through there into second place in front of Dave Cox, number 7. Bill McGovern is 4th. 29 is 5th, Steve Jones, just from 87, Mark Fish. It's all mighty close though. 7 leads, Dave Cox leads. Cox is first as they go down the straight again under the Dunlop Bridge. Very fast indeed, these Renaults pulling all of their 125 miles an hour top speed down the straights as they now come into the sharp right and left. It's 7 still leading. Then 69 James Kay, or is it David Grimshaw? 69 Kay. Grimshaw goes on the inside as they clear Redgate now. It's still Cox leading 7, and in second place, is it 2? Is it 69? Could be either. 2 from 69. That's your 1, 2, 3. So down the straight into Goddard's again. Number 7 leads. All eyes on the second place battle. 2 has it at the moment. Grimshaw from Kay, leading the rest of the pack. Bill McGovern is 4th. The top Renault 5 racers averaging nearly 81 miles an hour. Lots of good scraps. People trying to make up time under braking and losing time. 45, Martin Sadler gets away with it, but Steve Laughlin 35 doesn't. We have a new leader. David Grimshaw now leads in number 2. The first 3 absolutely tied together. It's anybody's race between Grimshaw, Kay and Cox. 2 is Grimshaw. 7 is Cox. Kay is 69. Who's it going to be? Under the Dunlop Bridge, a lot of foxing there, a lot of weaving about, a lot of entering mirrors and disappearing. Which side is anybody going to overtake? Got to keep the revs up, keep it neat. The 1, 2, 3 still anybody's race, I'd have thought. 1 Renault part number covering the first trio, leading the second convoy, doing extremely well to do so for so long. Bill McGovern there in 22 leads the rest in the 4th place, and behind him all close racing. There's McGovern, 22. Won the Saloon Car Championship way back in a Hillman Imp. Battle for the lead. Here it is. Start, finish straight into Redgates again, into the right-hander. Good place for overtaking. If you get it right, if you get it wrong, you'll end up in the gravel. Mighty close stuff. What a round 2. What a round 2 for the Renault racers. Really giving it their all. 7 or 69. 69 goes for the inside. James Kay's in 69 and he now has the lead. Down into second place, Dave Cox. So 69 James Kay leads from Dave Cox, number 7, from David Grimshaw, number 2. That's the new 1, 2, 3 here. What a fierce 15 lapper it is. 69 James Kay leads. Round the Coppice Corner, down the straight, under the Dunlop Bridge. McGovern still 4th, still leading that second convoy, but who's going to win this one? Lifting wheels, fierce, fast Renault racing this. 69 from 7, from 2, but it could change, and it probably will, as they go down the short straight past the pit signals into the right-hander. 69 has the inside, and a bit of bumping there, and off he goes. A bit of bumping. Was it a nudge? Did he fall? Was he pushed? 69 James Kay goes off onto the inside of Redgate, and therefore loses out in this battle here, this fierce battle. Now it's between 2 and 7, between David Grimshaw and Dave Cox. What's happened to Grimshaw? Grimshaw's slowing. Grimshaw has engine trouble. What drama on the last lap too. So Grimshaw in severe difficulties. McGovern goes up now. McGovern, neat, tidy McGovern. We'd almost forgotten about him as he headed that convoy and was in 4th place. McGovern locking up a wheel. He could even win it. He's in 2nd place, and number 7 heads for the flag. Dave Cox wins the race from Bill McGovern. What a lot of drama. What a round 2. Dave Cox from Bill McGovern. Steve Jones inherits 3rd place. Hayden Measham 4th. Jim Edwards Jr. is 5th. Mark Fish is 6th. Anthony Pownall 7th, and James Kay, who was scrapping for the lead, did get the fastest lap and finished 8th, 80.99 miles an hour. The winner though, Dave Cox.
Dave Cox, excellent race. Yeah, it was very good. Very, very enjoyable. Can you talk us through the last couple of laps?
Oh, the last couple of laps were the same as the first 13. It was just duck and dive. There was 3 of us mainly involved. I mean, I was obviously, Nicky Phillips went out the race very early, which obviously helped because he would have been up there as well. But there was David Grimshaw, James, myself, and we were having a tremendous battle. Very clean, very close racing.
On the East Midlands, it was down to Kent for round 3 at Brands Hatch, before here in Northamptonshire, round 4 at Silverstone, round the full Grand Prix circuit. The Renault 5 GT Turbos would spend much of their time with their drivers' right feet placed very firmly on the floor. On the front row, Kay and Grimshaw, joined by Kevin Glynn, really flying. A fine performance by him, and we spoke to him after practice.
Kevin, a season for you that's fluctuating but gradually getting better. You now find yourself 3rd on the grid here at Silverstone.
Well, we're showing a bit of promise, and just glad to be 3rd. It's a funny circuit, a lot of slipstreaming, and as long as you're up there, you're in by the chance.
So the really fast bends and a lot of straightaway to come for the Renault 5 races at Silverstone, where slipstreaming will play a very important part. Different sort of tactics here, and 10 laps of it. And that, because the circuit's long, is nearly 30 miles. Some Sunday afternoon drive, though, for the Renault racers. Leading the pack at the moment, it's 69 from 20. In 10 there, Mike Moss from Chislehurst. The competitors have come from all over Britain. Fiercely fought out, and a very profitable series for the successful competitors. The most successful at the moment, 69. We saw him at Donington, had a disappointing time there. James Kay, well sideways, sets it up beautifully, but hangs on to the lead, being pushed hard by 20, who is Edwards Jr., Jim Edwards Jr. Father and son, Jim Edwards Sr. is also racing in this one. Both the cars from the Edwards family, run by SMC Racing of Woking. Leading right now is number 69, James Kay from Harrogate, in the Crossways for Renault in North Yorkshire car. It's close though. Edwards Jr. right behind him. They go under the Daily Express Bridge into the new bridge bend. Here it is, to slow the competitors up. 2 ways of slowing them up. That's one of them, bridge bend. The next one, as it's 3 cars going for a gap where only one will go into the chicane. That's the second way of slowing them up, to go through the Woodcote corner, what used to be flat out Woodcote corner, and that became just too dangerous for Grand Prix cars going through there at 170, 180, hence the 2 methods of slowing them up, bridge bend and the Woodcote chicane. Going around Copse corner, the right-hander at Copse. We're now with, in car, Gavin Green, editor of the Car magazine, the monthly Bible of motor enthusiasts, Car magazine. Gavin Green, our Renault 5 driver, showing you what it's like in an armchair, nice and safe. Tighten your belts up though, because anything can happen in this form of racing, as we will see. Green, back end of the top 10. Absolutely glued to Kevin Glynn. When we heard talking there, Kevin Glynn, third fastest in practice, right in front of Gavin Green. Now we are going around Stowe Corner at the end of Hanger Straight. Short straight, down to Club Corner. Green goes onto the rough stuff there for a bit, loses a bit of time. Going to be very neat in these cars to be fast. Catches a bit up there on the braking. On goes the lock. Not too much of it though. Off he goes onto the rubbing strips. A warning to say, you've gone far enough. Through Abbey, fast, left-hander. Up now towards the Daily Express Bridge. Here's the leader, 69. James Kay from David Grimshaw. Round the bridge bend. Kay going into the pits. Kay pulling off on the right into the pits. In trouble and losing the lead. The lead taken by number 2, David Grimshaw. Grimshaw now leads. But right behind him is Dave Cox. Grimshaw from Cox. New first and second and a new third place, Bill McGovern. And as usual, McGovern has his mirrors absolutely full of a stream of Renaults. Whoops, off onto the grass goes the Radbourne car. Cox from Gravesend losing a bit of time there. Losing some time certainly to the leader. Grimshaw gets away there. Grimshaw from Chelmsford in the Renault Care Frignal Wheelers of Newbury car. That's the 1-2 safely through. Who's going to be third? Whoops, it's close. McGovern just about. Edwards Jr.'s there too. Wow. And then a quintet of Renaults at least. All close together. All close together. McGovern still. Yes, McGovern's there. Edwards Jr.'s there. Glynn's there. Edwards Sr.'s there as well. There's Gavin Green. Gavin Green, our camera car, alongside Edwards Sr. So father and son Edwards battling it out. They're going now through Abbey Curve and up and under, we hope, safely the Daily Express Bridge. So the 2 Edwardses, Junior from Senior, then McGovern down there. So we have Edwards, third, fourth, McGovern fifth. It's all changing. So, Edwards Jr., Glynn, Edwards Sr., McGovern. They're changing places so frequently it's hard to keep up with it. That's Maggot's curve they're going through, that fast left-hander over the brow, Maggot's curve, down to Beckett's, onto the brakes. We have an aerofoil on one of the Edwards cars. Edwards Jr. goes through, that's Edwards Sr. in 21. Edwards Sr. number 21. Jim Edwards Sr. from Maidenhead in the SMC Racing of Woking car. His bonnet well adrift. How he can see out, I don't know, but he's continuing. Meanwhile, Edwards Jr., here he is in third place, number 20. Then it's Glynn, then it's McGovern. Meanwhile, on the other side of the circuit, the checkered flag is unfurled and held in readiness for number 2, David Grimshaw. The winner, Grimshaw wins. His pit crew absolutely delighted. Meanwhile, what's happened to our armchair hero? Here he is, Gavin Green. Oops! Oh dear, oh dear. Bit of contact there with Steve Jones from Bury. Still, our man survived and heads through the chicane. Oops! Oh my goodness me. Yes, more like stock car racing at times. At last, the checkered flag. Delighted Gavin Green. Delighted to have survived and to have finished 6th. The result, Grimshaw from Cox, from Edwards Jr., from Glynn, from McGovern, our man 6th. And on the famous British Racing Drivers Club, Victor Dave Cox has had practice problems.
I'm starting from the back of the grid in the consolation race. Lot to do.
But watch him go. He's number 7. Lucky 7 for him. From the back of the field, he's got to survive the antics of the less experienced. He's going through them though. And he leads. And he wins. So the results in the qualifying race: Dave Cox right the way through the field to lead, Don Norchi, Lionel Whiffen, Ian Head and Bradley Joyce. And so we come to round 6 here at Mallory Park, a pair of races, and it's mighty hot. James Biggles Kay has pole in the centre of the grid, hoping that his cooling off of his balaclava underneath that helmet in cold water will do the trick. A very hot Nicky Phillips. David Grimshaw on the outside of the grid. Kay, Phillips, Grimshaw, front row. German, Fish, row 2. 2 races to count.
I believe we 2 12-lap races and a gap between, but I'm not sure how long that gap is. It should be a very, very exciting afternoon, I'm sure.
And the main opposition coming from Nicky again?
Yes, Nicholas Phillips and David Grimshaw, they're both going very well today.
So a tight little circuit. And 2 races, both to count, as the fields stream away down the straight into the long, long Gerrard's Bend, named after the famous East Midland racing driver, Bob Gerrard. And of course, Gerrard Racing has a pair of Renault 5s competing here today. And appropriately, one of them, the Owen Brown with Gerrard Motorsport entry number 1, Nicky Phillips, leads this first of the Renault races. Up into second place though, overtaking Grimshaw, goes James Biggles Kay, almost off Mallory Park there as he opened out the S's. Phillips has it number 1. Into Shaw's, through Shaw's, Phillips. Behind him though, anybody, surely. Still Phillips, coming out of Shaw's into the Devil's Elbow and through the elbow. Down the elbow though, a great pack of cars. There's Fish, 87, Edwards Jr.'s there, as well as Grimshaw and Kay. Phillips going to Gerrard's. He has first. Second, side by side. Kay on the inside, Grimshaw on the outside. Edwards Jr.'s there in 4th place. Fish is there. So through Gerrard's, long, long right-hander of Gerrard's. Here's the exit. Short, steady straight now. Down to the S's. Everybody's sorting themselves out. Not a lot of time to do it. Right and left through the S's. Flat if you're brave. Up the hill to Shaw's Corner. Famous hairpin. Once mastered by the great and late Jim Clark. Graham Hill, John Surtees. They've all been around here in the past. And now we're at the wheel with Gavin Green. Whoops. Oh, no, please. Off. Into the barrier there, and off the barrier. Our man got a bit savage there, Gavin Green, editor of car. Still, off we go, down the start-finish straight. Oh, we've got a problem, I think. We're losing a bit of time into Gerrard's. Round we go. Oh, we've lost another place too. Oh, we're in trouble. I think we've got some tyre damage. Anyway, back to the battle at the front. Phillips, 1. Kay, 69. Phillips and Kay. Edwards Jr., then Fish. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to the hairpin. Phillips has the inside. Squeezing Kay out, forcing him to go a long way in. And as a result, Phillips has the fast way out. Down the Devil's Elbow sweep. Using all of the track right up to the barrier, but not into it. Whoops, yes, yes. Really in trouble, number 8. Gavin Green obviously damaged a tyre in that incident there and is slowing as a result. 1 and 69, what a battle, proving that 2 Renaults can fit through the S's just about. They're actually touching at times. And again, you can't get much closer than that, can you? 1 or 69, Phillips or Kay, and they're getting quite battered in this battle. Down the Devil's Elbow. Still Phillips. Phillips from Kay. Could be anybody's. Loughborough driver Phillips used to come from Northern Ireland. These days is based at Loughborough, just down the road from Mallory Park here. Leading, local team of course, he's upholding the honour for in number 1. James Kay in the Crossways Renault, not giving an inch. Looking decidedly second-hand, these first 2 cars. Whoa! And very nearly extremely second-hand indeed there. A couple of the others down the field, finding that Gerard's Bend may not be flat after all. Still the first 2 glued together. Phillips, Kay, identical times as far as the timekeepers are concerned. Into Gerard's. Phillips making sure he's got a nice tight line through there. If Kay is going to get past, he's got to go the long way around. Boxing a bit on the straight. Whoops, a lot of smoke there in the distance. Somebody's got a turbocharger well and truly gone. Looks as if the grass might have caught fire. It's a very hot day here at Mallory Park. So, still the battle continues. Fish in front of Edwards Jr. That's the battle for 3rd place. We're so absorbed with this scrap, and it really is a scrap for the win here at Mallory Park of the first of 2 races. So, Phillips. Still Phillips from Kay. Then it's Fish. Then it's Edwards Jr. There's Fish, there's Edwards Jr. Yes, the little brew up there on the inside of Gerard's has caught the fire. Like there's a lot of smoke. Yes, they're having to stop the race. The BARC marshals going out to stop the race here at Mallory Park. There's the red flag. All the marshals waving their flags. The BARC deciding that visibility is endangered at Gerard's Bend. Here is Gavin Green fighting on, really having a go and showing us the smoke crossing the track as he gets all crossed up. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Lucky to escape that one. Some mighty hot Renault engines and some mighty hot drivers. James Kay cooling off before the 2nd race, cooling off too. Grimshaw on the left and Phillips on the right. They were 1st and 2nd, of course, in that first epic scrap here at Mallory Park. The 2nd race gets underway for all but 2 out of the 3 Radbourne cars. Crawling away there. Yes, both away, but right at the back of the field. And the field streaming round Gerard's. It's really hot today, and it's very, very hot work indeed inside these little Renault racers from Dieppe. James Kay it is who's leading. Kay leads from Phillips. There's a surprise. Edwards Jr.'s next. There's Grimshaw. Grimshaw down to 4th. So the battle in this 2nd race between Kay and Phillips getting very close. Hey, he's off. He's off. Kay definitely got a helping shove there, I'd have thought, from Nicholas Phillips, maybe. Nicky Phillips and Kay must have made contact there under braking, and as a result, Kay well out of contention. Phillips has it. There's Phillips. There's Edwards Jr. That's the 1-2. Grimshaw's there. Grimshaw's 3rd. Edwards Senior is 4th. Right, so now we have Phillips on the left going down the straight, making sure he's got the inside line and nobody slips through, particularly Edwards Jr., Jim Edwards Jr. in the red and yellow car in 2nd place. Edwards Senior's there in 4th place. Phillips inside line. Edwards Jr. trying to go around the outside, and as a result, number 2, Grimshaw, moves up there, or tries to, going down through Devil's Elbow. It's awfully squeezy stuff. Phillips, Edwards Jr., Grimshaw, into Gerard's. Grimshaw has it, has the inside line, and so we have Phillips from Grimshaw, then Edwards father and son. Edwards Jr. challenging for 3rd into the S's. Terrific stuff. There's Edwards Senior. Number 16, of course, Kevin Glynn. Fish there. Whoa, off goes 21. Off goes Jim Edwards Senior. Fortunately, doesn't seem to be too damaged there, but quite a nasty experience nonetheless to turn sharp right at the S's. Meanwhile, Phillips There he is, number 1. And there's the flag. Grimshaw second, Edwards Jr. third. And James Kay, no doubt extremely unhappy, going straight on at Shaw's there and being assisted perhaps in so doing by the winner of the 2 races added together, Nicky Phillips. Jim Edwards Jr. is second in the combined results from David Grimshaw, who is third, Kevin Glynn fourth, Les German fifth and Steve Jones sixth. As a result of the halfway point in the championship being led by Nicky Phillips, the championship leader gets a special prize, and that prize is taking part in the British round of the Renault 21 Europa Cup for Renault 21 turbos at Donington Park. The cream of the Renault 21 turbo racers from the continent. Quite an experience for our championship leader in the Renault 5s, from the little pocket rocket to these fleet-winged, turbocharged executive expresses. Look out for number 56 carrying the Union Jack. There he is, Phillips at the wheel. Quite a different motor car. That's how it should be done. And so we come to France, to near the Camargue, to the Circuit International de Nîmes Ledanon, the Ledanon circuit, just near the Camargue. For this, the final round in the Renault 5L Turbo UK Cup, round 12. The big surprise, though, after practice is the performance of Paul Taft, fastest of all in pole position. Taft, the Honda CRX champion, formerly a mini racing champion, quicker here in his first drive in a Renault 5 GT Turbo than all the Renault racers. He's driving number 69. Alan alongside him, a rare front row of the grid driver as well. So a strange front row. Taft, Allen, then all the main Renault protagonists streaming through. Jonathan Salem there in 17. Very close. Whoops, what's happened there? I think it's Gavin Green. Gavin Green in there somewhere in all the dust. Meanwhile, 69, familiar number to us, but being driven by Paul Taft, motor engineer from Alvechurch, a man who's mastered Minis, Metros, Honda CRXs, current Honda champion. Paul Taft leading the Renaults here in this final round of the series around the Circuit International de Nîmes Ledanon. We're next to the Camargue. We're in the Languedoc-Roussillon area of France. And now we're in the Renault 5 Racer with Gavin Green at the wheel. Prepared by Radbourne Racing. It's all awfully close. Tight little circuit. Green gets a helping shove there, surely. Not his fault. Oh my goodness me. Many corners bent. Hopefully not too badly damaged. Our man's extremely angry. Into the dust. Can he see where he's going? Let's hope he can. Whoops, it worked. Through the dust. Oh, he's really got the bit between his teeth. Our man's angry. He's really having a go. He made up a couple of places there. Didn't lose too much time, surprise. It's on the inside. Our man's got it, I think. Yes. Anyways, taking the track on the right. Opening it out over the brow there without lifting. He's made up a lot of time there. Very fast down into this one. A lot of understeer. Keeps it on the tarmac ribbon. Twisted little track. Regularly used by carts. Meanwhile, as Green sorts out the midfield runners, Taft leads 69. Taft in control of yet another motor race. Look out though for our man number 8. In 16 is Kevin Glynn. Number 8 is your car, Armchair Racers. Number 7 is Dave Cox. All enjoying this treat at the end of the series, racing in the sunshine in Languedoc-Roussillon with lots of fine French hospitality and a jolly good meal last night for the contingent from the UK. Taft leads. There's Grimshaw. Grimshaw in number 2. Quite a undulating little track. Not a lot of obvious features for braking points. Really the bit between his teeth, Gavin Green, being showered with bits of France. Going through or trying to on the inside of Alan Gregory. Yes, Green's disposed of Alan Gregory there in a London Road Coachworks Renault. There's Taft making it look all so easy, so fast, so very hard, but always so quick. Absolutely fantastic performance by Taft in the Renault, leading this race. Back with Green now. Changing down. Moved up a little closer. There. Winding the little Renault turbocharged engine up just as hard as it can go. Standing kilometre capable in under 30 seconds in these little cars. 115 horsepower, 1,397 cc, and Green's using all of them at the moment. Oh, he's fiercely going through on the inside, very fast, very brave. It's worked. Green's taken another place. Meanwhile, Taft serenely in control of this motor race, circulating the master of the Renaults with Nicky Phillips, last year's champion, right behind him. Phillips second, Taft from Phillips. Back with our man Green, past all the pit signallers and all the mechanics who've worked so hard behind the scenes keeping these cars going all season. In a different colour scheme, number 22 there, Bill McGovern. Bill McGovern enjoying this final round in France. Really enjoying himself now, Green. Road ahead though, helping shove there to Edwards Senior. Lost a bit of time there, Green, with his work cut out to get past. He's alongside Edwards Jr. McGovern's there, 22 in front of him. Screen full of Renault, a lot of dust too. My goodness, a lot of bodily contact there for Green. Hardly a straight panel on the car. Back with Green. Trying to wind in McGovern. Has disposed of Jim Edwards Sr. This is where you need to be really neat. Meanwhile, Taft being really neat, being pursued by Phillips. There is number 7, Dave Cox third. So Taft, Phillips, Cox, the 1, 2, 3. Swooping around this little track. So beloved by go-kart racers. Also French Formula 3's race here. We're at the circuit Ledanon. Not often seen on TV. Really being enjoyed by the Renault 5 racing contingent from the UK in this, the final round of their 12-round championship. In 29, Steve Jones there. Good scrap between 33 and 21. Ian Dewar in 33, 21, Jim Edwards Sr. Here he is, slowing down for some strange reason. Maybe team tactics? What could he be doing? Car looks okay. Having had that little helpful shove by Gavin Green earlier. Taft, Phillips, Cox. Dave Cox in the Radbourne car third, Phillips in the Gerard Motorsport car second. But leading the race, it's Paul Taft. Taft, Phillips, Cox, the 1, 2, 3. There's Gavin Green. That side of the car looks not too bad. Streaming down the hill. Green minus a side window. Probably finding the fresh air quite helpful here in this hot, tight little circuit. Hayden Measham in front of him. How's he going to get past? Going for the inside maybe. Here he goes. Whoops. Running wide and out there goes Ian Head. And Gavin Green gets past Hayden Measham, or does he? Hayden Measham alongside him on the right. Absolutely neck and neck down through this bit. Green has it. Green's in front. Measham's behind him. Meanwhile, Phillips in pursuit of Taft. Phillips not actually making any impression on Taft. Met his match here, surely. Taft, the Honda champ, in this one-off drive in the Renault. Kevin Glynn there in 16. 17, Jonathan Salem in pursuit in the white and green car. Glynn and Salem. Whoops! Getting well out of shape, Richard Lawson in 31. Losing a bit of Renault. There's Taft. Last lap for the guest driver from the Midlands, the motor engineer from Alvechurch, who's certainly flown round here at Ledanon in the Carrick Renault number 69. Showing everybody a clean set of wheels. And that includes Nicky Phillips. Surprise, surprise, whoops! Onto the grass, going rally crossing there. Gavin Green, and losing a place to Jim Edwards Jr. as a result. There's Taft, 69. Smooth, making it all look so easy. The winner here at Ledanon. Round 12 to Paul Taft. Maximum points. Won't do him any good though. Nicky Phillips, like those points in second place. Dave Cox third, Dave Grimshaw fourth, Mickey Allen fifth, and Jonathan Salem. Good drive there by Allen and Salem to be fifth and sixth. So a new champagne shaker for Renault Racing, Paul Taft here at Ledanon. And here at Ledanon, Nicky Phillips clinches the Renault 5 Championship once again. For the second year running, Nicky Phillips is the champ. Dave Grimshaw is second, Jim Edwards Jr. is third, Dave Cox fourth, Steve Jones